Hey guys, this is Natalie from Inspired Alignment. I am coming on tonight to do the full moon energy reading for feminine energies. I almost didn't think that I was going to be able to do this video because my anxiety has been so bad over the last couple days. And I felt like really bad about not being able to get the feminines out. And today I had some of that like anxiety and weight that I was feeling over the last couple weeks just kind of like lifted today. So I figured I'd come on and do this quick reading for the feminine energy. The full moon is going to be tomorrow. It is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is currently in retrograde. So it'll be an interesting time. I can already tell you that this full moon is pretty powerful. For the new moon this month was really super powerful. I had a lot of anxiety around that time too. I couldn't like sleep at night, and I've been experiencing like the same kind of stuff here with this full moon. So definitely some really intense energies. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started for the feminines. Let's see what the feminines can expect with this full moon energy. What do they need to know? What advice do we have? What is this full moon going to bring in with the feminines? What do they need to know about it? So, Spirit, what do feminine energies need to know about the full moon on October 24th, 2018? What's the most important messages that feminine energies need to know for this time? What do feminines need to know about the full moon? Okay, so the first card I have is Body and Mind. This is the same exact card that the masculines got in the same location. That was the very first card I pulled for them. What else do feminines need to know about the full moon? The upcoming full moon. Okay. The Five of Air. What do feminine energies need to know about the full moon? The Journey. And then underneath the deck, we have the Ace of Fire, the Three of Air, and the Self card, which was reversed. And I don't have reversals in this deck. So I'm going to leave it that way. I feel like maybe there might be an important message about that. Okay, so what I see here for the feminines. Okay, first of all, the body and mind. You know, a lot of you could be experiencing different kinds of emotions, things that you're having to kind of like balance with the body and mind. I know personally for me, this entire month of October has literally been a roller coaster ride. I mean, I have been all over the place this entire month. Like 1 minute I'm upset, I'm depressed, I'm sad. The next minute I'm happy. The next minute I have anxiety. It's been like totally all over the place. So I can personally relate to this body and mind card quite a bit. And I think that, well, I'm hoping that for this full moon that this is going to, you know, be something that's going to help us kind of balance this out a little bit. So if you've been going through something similar, like where you feel like you're all over the place, or you're experiencing a lot of different kinds of feelings within the body, you know, I'm kind of getting that this full moon is going to kind of bring in a little bit of balance for that. Now, if you haven't really been experiencing that, the full moon might actually be a catalyst for that. So there can be maybe something that takes place, or just the energy that's around you that is going to kind of create like these up and down type of emotions. So The next card we have is the Five of Air, and this card is all about like removing our mask. I feel like along with the Body and Mind card, because of some of the emotions and the things that have been kind of buried deep down, things that like have not come up to the surface yet, things that we have not like actually dealt with or faced. Those things are kind of coming up to the surface during this time, which is creating us to have like these feelings within our body that like we're feeling like our mind and our body are kind of like combating each other, like they're not on the same page. And part of that is because we're kind of dealing with some of this stuff that needs to come up to the surface. We're removing the mask. Like I'm getting like this is kind of like part of that whole process of, kind of like a dark night of the soul. And I think that depending on, where you're at on this journey, that experience will probably be different, for everybody. I think that like once you've kind of like been going through ascension, for a little while, sometimes the dark night of the souls, like those time periods don't tend to like last as long as they did in the past. But they are still very hard because I feel like the further and further we get into this, the deeper down the stuff is that comes up to the surface, So when you get to a point where you've been on this journey for a while, some of that stuff that is coming up is like, man, it's like you don't even like really realize that it was actually a problem within your life. And it can really be kind of like confusing, and something that, you have to wrap your mind around, when it does come up to the surface, and it's something that you kind of like really need to take a look at and realize, have you been wearing a mask? Have you been being, your true authentic self? And I feel like we don't even like consciously do some of these things. There's like usually like a trigger or like something that occurs that will happen that like kind of like makes us realize like, oh, like, wow, I've been doing this for a really long time and I never even really realized like the reason behind why I was doing it, or that I was even doing it as much as I was, or, just how much that behavior or that pattern, or habit or whatever it is, has really affected your life. And I really kind of think that that's like what feminine energies are kind of like dealing with right now. It's like, having some of these things come up to the surface. And in some cases, these are things that like are really like, holy crap, like I had no idea. And then it's kind of like, getting your balance with that. And it is all part of this journey. This entire, our whole life is a journey, and I think that, when you start to kind of awaken and you start to become more conscious of some of the things that are going on in your life and some of the things that like you're doing, you begin to put all of the like puzzle pieces together. And you start to recognize like things that could have happened, 10 or 20 years ago that are like making sense now at this point in time. And it's, it is helping you kind of realize the real you, and who you really truly are authentically. So underneath the deck here, we had the Ace of Fire, the Three of Air, and then the Self card that was, in the reverse. So I feel like what I'm getting from here is almost like a fire is kind of like being lit underneath the feminine's butt a little bit. And it could be because there's like some stuff that's either occurring, like some events that are taking place, or just some emotions that are coming up that are kind of conflicting. Like you might have to even make like a big decision or change something like drastic in your life. And because of that, like you're kind of, I get like a like kind of like freaking out a little bit here. Like you're kind of like having to figure out what to do, how to deal with this, and you may be having to do like some kind of like research, or studying, or working on, manifestation, really like getting a hold of how to manifest, and how to really kind of like deal with your energies. And then for others, I feel like this is like, research, study. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something that like a change that's being made, and there's like some work that needs to be done, in order to make this change. But you are being guided. The dragon in this card really stands out to me along with the owl. Right now is actually a really big time for dragons. So I don't know, some of you guys might really be kind of like connecting with that dragon type of energy. You could have had like visions or dreams about dragons, or just been having them kind of like come up out of nowhere, maybe in conversation or on, I don't know, on TV if you watch TV, or like for example, I think last week I was at my mom's house and she happened to just order a deck of oracle cards, and they were dragon oracle cards. And so she wanted to pull a card for me to see like who my dragon was or what kind of dragon I had. And so, my mom doesn't even like really have tarot cards or oracle cards, so it was really interesting. But yeah, that's just like kind of like an example of like, you could be like feeling this energy or experiencing the dragons in some way. And then also like, I feel like you're gaining a lot of knowledge, like you're getting a lot of information. This could be like in the astral realm during meditation, in dream state, or this could be, even during the day, like when you're seeing, the same numbers or something, every day, or the same like messages repetitively that you keep seeing. Like if you're seeing 1111, or, 333 or 444, 144, just like these repetitive numbers that you're seeing all the time. Those are actually, that's actually information that is like kind of coming in for you. And it's kind of helping you to retrain your consciousness, retrain your brain in the way that you have been looking at things. And it's like kind of making you like focus and notice, other things that are going on around you. So I do feel like a lot of information is coming in. And, with this self card in reverse, I feel like you guys might be having a difficult time with maybe meditating or connecting in some way. In this card, you can see the dragons here too. So definitely I feel like there's a lot of like dragon, like spirit animals, or just like that dragon energy that's around the feminines at this time. So I think that, maybe because the energy, is intense, or whatever, is taking place, or whatever emotions that are like coming to the surface that are kind of like lighting this fire under your butt and making you kind of like, travel in a specific direction. It may be like to the point where it's so intense that you are having difficulty with connecting, or difficulty meditating. And for others, I feel like this is saying that you need to meditate and go within. You need to really like pay attention to what your body is telling you. Everybody does meditation in a different way. Sometimes we do like guided meditation, or we'll listen to music. Some people just, sit in silence. But I have noticed lately that sitting in silence has been kind of helpful to me and has kind of made me notice and recognize some different things that happen within my body when I'm meditating. So that might be something that you want to try, but I'm getting here, like either you're having difficulty with connecting and meditating, or this is something that you're not doing that you need to do, and that it will help you kind of get through whatever this occurrence is that's happening. Because I do feel like you are being pushed and moved into a certain direction for sure. So I'm going to pull some more cards to see if we can get some more clarification. I'm going to pull it on the Self card that's reversed. Spirit, what do feminine energies need to know about this Self card that's here? What else do the feminines need to know about the Self card? I just heard a message in my head. So for some of you guys, this is telling you need to get out a little bit more. So maybe you have been keeping to yourself a lot and meditating a lot, and this is telling you to go out and socialize. So I'm sure whoever that message is for, you'll know. Okay, the King of Cups fell out, but I'm going to pull one more card here. Okay, so what I see here is I do kind of see that whole manifestation thing here. Like wanting to manifest new things, but kind of being a little uncertain or unsure on how to actually bring these things into your reality. Like you are, patiently waiting and nurturing and taking care of things, and trying to build up like your pentacles and different material type things within your life. And you are like, hoping and wishing for certain things to happen. But I feel like, the energy of actually being able to manifest something is like being blocked in some way. And under the deck here, we had the Seven of Swords. So part of the reason why this manifesting is being blocked in some way is, this could be just negative thoughts that you're having that are like reoccurring within your head. There could be a situation where you feel like somebody like betrayed you, or kind of just like left you there with like no explanation or no closure. And for some reason that I feel like is kind of what's blocking you from your true desires here, and actually bringing that into the real world. And I mean, this could be with a King of Cups. This card did fall out. So it could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, male. But this also can be just a man who almost getting who needs to work on his emotional self. So if you have dealt with a masculine energy in your life who has, betrayed you in some way or took off or, kind of left you feeling in the Seven of Swords energy, it's because they, they're working on being more emotionally stable within themselves, and to stop worrying about it because it's blocking like what you're able to bring into your own life, like kind of I guess like detaching from thinking about this person so much, if this is a person, within your life, and focus on you know, more of the things that you want to bring into your life that are just like for you to make your life better and to make you grow into the best person that you can be. So if you are kind of focusing like on, you know, a relationship with another person, and you're kind of like waiting for this person to come back or contact you or do something before, you know, you like make your moves or you know, make like these changes or get on to your, you know, life journey, you know, don't do that. You know, just focus on you and what your life path is, and that person will come in if they are meant to. So I'm gonna pull some cards on the Five of Air. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna pull Lenormand cards here on this Self reverse too. We'll see what messages we get with the Lenormands. What other messages do we have for the Self card in reverse? Okay, that one wants to come. Yeah, here we have that wishing again. So you're definitely wanting or desiring to bring new things into your life, or you're desiring a relationship, or just something specific, something in particular that you're really like wishing or you know, wanting. And then here we have the dice. So you could feel like, you know, you are like taking a risk or taking a chance when it comes to wishing for whatever it is that you're wishing for. I'm also getting that for some of you guys, like this is like taking a risk with a particular person, maybe. A person that you are confused about and don't have like a clear knowing of, like, you know, what direction or they're going in or what they want within their lives, or, you know, just what's going on with them in general. You are kind of uncertain or unclear about that, and so like you feel like you're wishing and hoping for something, but it's like it's kind of like you're gambling with yourself, because you're uncertain on if what it is that you're desiring and wanting is really going to happen. And then here we have, you know, the Tree of Life. So, you know, I feel like the most important thing about wanting or desiring certain things in our life and bringing them into our life is the actual feeling that you get when you receive what it is that you want. So finding a way to have that feeling, like to actually be able to feel the way that you would feel if this had come into your life already. And I feel like when you get yourself to that place where you can experience, you know, like the happiness or the relief or whatever it is that you're desiring, you know, like really imagine that you already have it and feel it. Like feel it. I feel like that is going to really kind of help you pull in whatever it is that you're desiring, or it's going to pull in clarity in some way. And it's going to help you kind of like move forward a little bit. Okay, so now let's look at this Five of Air. Spirit, what is this Five of Air for the feminines? What is this Five of Air? Okay, Three of Swords. The Magician. And the Queen of Wands. And then under the deck we have the Six of Swords. And the Three of Wands. So, I feel like some of you guys are experiencing some heartbreak during this time, or something that is, emotionally painful. And this could have to do with a third party situation. So this could have something to do with another female in your life. It doesn't have to be a third party. So, if you were with somebody and there's like a third party situation or something like that going on, I feel like something with that may kind of come back around, and it's gonna create like some heartache and kind of like help you remove this mask, even more. But for some of you guys, I feel like this Queen of Wands it can be you. It can be another feminine energy that is within your life. So sometimes with the Queen of Wands, I feel like, sometimes she can be kind of like angry, or a little bit like harsh when she gets upset, or just kind of like, like the Queen of Wands is really like passionate, and she really is all about like, she knows that she can get whatever it is that she wants. Like, she doesn't like really feel like she has to kind of like depend on anybody else. And so you could like really be embodying that right now, just kind of like, focused on you and only you. And it's possible that this is breaking somebody else's heart. I'm also getting that this could be another feminine within your life, another feminine energy that's in your life. So this could be anybody, like a coworker, a mother, a family member. It could be literally anybody. It could be a third party type thing. But there's like some kind of like manipulation going on here. So either this Queen of Wands is manipulating a situation in order to cause heartbreak, or you are like manifesting your own thoughts about a Queen of Wands, which is creating heartbreak. And it ultimately is bringing you to this place where you're kind of like recognizing something. Whatever the case is, it's really happening so that you can realize or recognize something, and like change something that you're doing, because like spirit is trying to like push you forward into a specific direction. Yeah, so let's pull some Lenormands on that and see what else we have. What else for this Five of Air, Spirit? What else do we need to know about the Five of Air? Okay, the Child. The Clovers. And the Star with the cross here. So this could be, this definitely could be a mother in your life. This Queen of Wands could be a mother and you're the child, or you could be a mother who has a child, and you are kind of like in this Queen of Wands energy. But I am seeing here, like, the main message is like, this is like kind of like almost like destined, whatever this thing is that's happening, because it's meant to push you in a certain direction. It's all happening for your highest good, and it's really going to, it's going to be something that you recognize in the future as a positive thing, even if during this time it seems like it's a negative thing. And that could be because, like, there's a situation where like a heavy burden is being carried. So, you could be carrying this heavy burden. This Queen of Wands could be carrying this burden. Or there could be somebody else in your life that is carrying some kind of a burden, and I'm kind of getting like it's almost going to be like some kind of like a shit show, where something is like taking place so that this stuff can kind of be illuminated, and looked at, and looked at more closely, with like a fine-tooth comb, so that you can really figure out where it is that you need to go, and then you can have like this new beginning, like that looks really good. It looks destined, it looks, prosperous. For some of you, this could be having a child if you don't already have children. Yeah, that's really interesting. Some of you may have been, may feel like you have been waiting like a long time for this. And I don't think that many of you are going to recognize that this is the time period that's going to kind of propel you or push you forward, because I feel like at first it's going to seem like it's just a bunch of drama, or it's just like, something upsetting or something abrupt, and you're not really going to like notice how great this really is until it's like over and done with. So that's really interesting. Let's see what this Three of Air is. Spirit, what's this Three of Air about for feminine energies? Okay. What is the Three of Air about? No. Okay, yeah, so some of you guys, are having to learn, and there's that Three of Wands again, starting off on your path, starting off on your new beginning, on your new you. And I feel like some of you guys are having to like learn that you have to like surrender to the universe and like the karmic lessons that are trying to be taught here, and get out of your mind, and stop kind of creating your own stuckness. Like get out of your own way. Yeah, like you're being kind of called to surrender to something here, but when you do, and when you just kind of like let it be, or let whatever's happening, be whatever it is, and just kind of like flow with the universe, and stop overthinking things, you're going to experience some really good things happening in your life. So let's see what we have here with the Oracle cards. What other messages do feminines need to know about this full moon? What other messages do feminines need to know about the full moon? Okay, possibility. Prosperity. Masculine's got that card too. Prosperity. I feel like there's a lot of like mirroring going on here with the masculine and feminines. Different circumstances and situations, but similar kind of energies and similar like purposes for the energy. Partnership. And then receive. Yeah, so, it's kind of like that same message that I was just saying, like kind of getting out of your own way, like start opening yourself up to receive. And then under that, we have celebration, so I really feel like this is going to end well. And in this card, we see the full moon. This is going to end up being really good, but it may not come off looking that way from the get. It might come off looking like something totally different than what it is. So, this is, believing in the possibilities. And by believing in what is possible, you bring in prosperity and you bring in partnership. You begin to receive by believing that these things are happening. And like I said before, like really getting yourself into that feeling of it already having occurred. Like, almost like trick yourself into believing that whatever it is that you're wanting, like you already have it, so that you can experience the feeling that it would bring into your life, because I do think that it is going to bring in prosperity, and for some of you guys, partnership with somebody in particular. But yeah, so, definitely like open yourself up to receive. For some of you guys that are having a hard time with meditating, I don't know, like try and, find different ways to like clear those blockages, maybe trying like different techniques, or, just trying something different. Like if you don't listen to, regular music that much, or something, like, do something that's gonna like bring up like happy feelings, like even if it's like past memories. So like like an old song that you really liked, when you were a kid, something that's really going to make you happy. Just do whatever it is that you can to feel the feeling of happiness and joy. And I think that that's going to help you big time here. So I hope that the message has helped you guys. If you need any extra guidance, please feel free to contact me at inspiredalignment33@gmail.com. And I hope that this helped. I will see you soon. Take care.